guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be going over another meta deck in standard format. We have Ability Centiskorch. Centiskorch has been a deck that's been super prominent since the card came out. There's a ton of different ways to run this deck, but I have discovered that the Ability Centiskorch works best for me. This is kind of a mashup of quite a few different decks, but I will link my deck list down in the description below, along with all the other YouTubers that I've seen do different Ability Centiskorch decks, because with everything getting lost in translation, I'm not sure who the original creator of the deck is, because I've heard two different YouTubers credit two different people, but the deck lists are super similar. So, let's get into this. We're taking a look at our attacking Pokemon here. We've, of course, got 3 copies of Centiskorch V and 3 copies of Centiskorch VMAX. We also have 3 copies of Volcanion in case we run into like a Rowlet deck, the Decidueye deck with the ability that turns off attacks from Vs and GXs. It also is super useful against the I can't think of it, Altaria deck. And so we're not getting messed over by the Bronzong line that Luke Metal decks are loving to run. We have a Cramorant V as a normal type attacker. We also have a lot of various ability Pokemon, which is why this is known as the Ability Centiskorch deck. We've got Eldegoss to pull back any supporter we need from the discard pile into our hand. The Galarian Zigzagoon just to place those extra damage counters where we need them, because sometimes you can be just 1 or 2 damage short, and this guy really can help you get where you need to be with your damage so you can take knockouts. Crobat, obviously, just churn through the deck, get more cards out, try to get maybe another Centiskorch on your bench, get whatever you may need out. 2 copies of Dedenne, again, just to turn through the deck, and 1 copy of Dimension Breach Giratina. This will discard a special energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon when you play it on your bench. Since we are using 2 of our little guys here, and I guess Volcanion can count as a little guy, we are running 4 copies of our Scoop Up Net, but our Scoop Up Nets are mainly to reuse the Giratina and reuse the Zigzagoon. Alrighty, so we have not a whole lot of supporters in here, and I'm skipping around going out of order, but I'm trying to explain why I've got certain cards where. So we've got 4 copies of Welder, 1 copy of Professor's Research, 1 Mallow Lana, and 2 Boss's Orders. I do have 2 copies of Pokégear because I do run such few supporters. That's just to help try to pull one that we might need. We always run 4 Welder with fire decks. Obviously, it helps the energy acceleration by leaps and bounds, especially if you don't get to go second. This guy is not going to be nearly as useful if you don't get to go second, which, because of his attack here, I can't think today. I'm too tired, I guess. Flare Starter allows you to search your deck for up to 3 energy and attach them to your Pokemon. If it is your first turn attacking, it is the second turn. But if you go first, obviously you can't use the attack, and from then on out, you can only attach 1 energy with Flare Starter. So with this, you have an opportunity to get, let's see, you attach 3 total per turn with Welder and then manually, so you can have 6 energy out on the board by the end of your turn if you go second. So that's why we've got the Welder in there, and then the Pokégear to search out for different supporters. Only 1 Professor's Research because we are running 2 Dedennes and also a Crobat, so we don't want to end up discarding too much stuff. With the Mallow Lana, so you can pivot back and forth between your Centiskorch VMAXs if one is getting a little bit too much damage on it. Boss's Orders, obviously, you can pull up one of your opponent's Pokemon, take aim. It's super useful card. Use it in every single deck, pretty much. What else am I missing here? What have we not gone over? My brain is fried today. We've got 1 copy of Reset Stamp. I tried running it with 2, but I really like being able to have the 4 Scoop Up and 4 Switch, and I couldn't figure out what else to get rid of to add the other Reset Stamp in. But Reset Stamp can be detrimental to decks like Eternatus and Arceus Dialga-Palkia, the Zacian decks, because if you can limit their hand size, it can really limit what they do. 4 Quick Ball and 2 Pokemon Communication. Obviously, these are just to search out your Pokemon in the deck. The Pokemon Communication are to help you find your Centiskorch VMAXs if you're having trouble finding them, or maybe even to find one of these guys to help you with draw support. 4 copies of Switch, 3 copies of Giant Hearth to seek out the fire energies so you can make use of Welder. Also, this greatly helps to thin out your deck. We also run 1 copy of Wondrous Labyrinth because this will make all attacks cost 1 extra energy as long as they're not fairy type attacks. So it's super useful when you're up against decks that require a lot of specific energy. So let's say the Zacian ADP, it'd be super helpful against that. Also, it can be pretty detrimental to Eternatus decks if they've had to discard a lot of their energy already, since they don't run a whole lot of extra. We run 2 of the Heat Fire Energy, which adds an extra 20 HP to the fire Pokemon it's attached to, and 11 copies of the regular Fire-type energy. We also run 2 copies of Fire Crystal. I originally only ran 1, but I think running the 2 is better, because if you lose 1 Centiskorch pretty early on, having the 2 can get you back up and running super quick. So that's why I like to do that. But let's see some gameplay with this guy. I don't have super good luck with Centiskorch. I guess I'm not just like super comfortable with the deck yet, but we will see how it does today. Alright, they have an Eternatus deck box, but that doesn't necessarily mean Eternatus deck. We did lose the coin flip. Alright, so probably an Eternatus deck. I don't know a whole lot of decks that like to go first other than Eternatus. Hopefully this is not a Zacian ADP, because if it is, we could very likely lose our Dedenne and Crobat to a Mawile. That is one thing I found that happens a lot with this deck. Oh, okay, so that is an Eternatus VMAX deck. We'll draw 2, hopefully. Okay, we got a Fire Energy, which is pretty good. We're not going to put anybody else up there. Looks like a Poison Eternatus deck. They might run the Trubbish Garbodor line, they might run Galarian Slowbro, but the Croagunk and Toxicroak is to add more damage counters for poison. I feel that we might have a little bit of a hard time with this guy, because if you can get enough of your Croagunks out, you can hit for 340 pretty fast with this deck. I do think you have to have a full bench and 4 Toxicroaks though. Plus, you have to have the active Pokemon poisoned. Your opponent's active Pokemon. Alright. So I'm going to go ahead and discard one of the Scoop Up Nets there. Look through my deck. So we're lucky we didn't prize any Centiskorch. We didn't prize any VMAX. We did prize one of our Fire Crystals. Looks like one of our Switches. And one of our Welders. And 1 energy. So not too bad. We'll take you. I don't really need to do anything here as far as these guys go. So I think I'm just going to Flare Starter onto the Centiskorch. And hope that they do not have the ability to fill their bench enough to boss up the Centiskorch V and knock it out. Alright, what do we got here? Pokémon Communication. Probably looking for a Crobat. Or maybe an Eternatus VMAX. Crobat, okay. Looking for some draw power. Maybe doesn't have the best hand. Okay, we got a Great Ball. VMAX, okay. Do they have energy in hand? How many are they going to Crobat for? Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Alright, Crobatting for 4. And they already used a supporter. I'm very confused about that. I guess they're just trying to put as much damage on them as they can. Perhaps they have another energy in their hand already. But I don't see why they would not have attached it before using the Crobat, because then they would have got to draw other cards. Do they have a switch? Do they have an energy? Are they going to attack? Just the poison. Okie dokie. I think I can deal with that. So here's what we're gonna do. I was gonna switch to get rid of the poison, but I don't need to switch to get rid of the poison. So we'll Scoop Up Net Volcanion, so we get an energy there in the discard. I will... Let's see. feel like DAA change might be our best option because we could grab a Welder and maybe try to get another Centiskorch. We should probably start hitting into the VMAX though. So a Welder wouldn't be super useful if I already bosses ordered. We're just gonna go ahead because we would be Crobatting for so few. We're just gonna DAA change, and we'll see if that was the right call. All right. Swap you out. Take the other Dedenne, so we can DAA change next turn. Or hopefully they'll Marnie us or something so we can get some halfway decent cards in our hand. Just gonna discard a Fire Energy so we can pull 2 out of the deck, thin the deck a little bit. Give us a little more HP there. Almost knock him out. I think maybe the correct play would have been there to grab the Zigzagoon instead of the Dedenne. If I would have done my math, I could have thought that through, because then I could have taken knockout on the Slowbro. Professor's Research. So they've gotten rid of 3 bosses orders already. They do still have a couple Crushing Hammers in deck. We will see. They don't have their stadium card though, so there's not free retreat at this point. All right. No need to Scoop Up Net anybody. Don't really see a need for the Cramorant. So we're just going to DAA change. Hope we can grab a Quick Ball or just the Zigzagoon so I can knock the Slowbro out. Pull somebody else up. Maybe we'll pull Welder out of here. We did! Lucky draw there. Alright, so Quick Ball away the Volcanion. I'm going to grab another Centiskorch V. You there, and I will Quick Ball away another Volcanion, grab 2 energy. Alright, so you have 6, so 4 times 7 is 28, so we're dealing 280 damage. Right? 40 plus, yeah. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and Welder onto the other Centiskorch. Sure. I mean, I don't really see a point in attaching the energy because I feel like we have a good chance of getting one-shotted the next turn, since we are taking significant poison damage. I'm still a little confused about why they haven't attacked yet. So he needs to hit for 250, which means he does need a full bench still. Actually, no. He only needs to hit for... Why did he not knock off the Heat Boy energy? Very confusing. Okay. I think they waited too long to get perfect hands and perfect bench to attack, because this seemed like it was just a little bit too easy. GG's to my opponent. With Eternatus, I completely understand the wanting to get everything just right, because it is a deck that can lose its momentum super quick, but at the same time, sometimes you have to sacrifice your perfect hand and start dealing damage when you can. Okay, so game one, pretty good. Let's see what we're up against for game number two. Alright, they've got a dragon-type deck box. I'm gonna assume this is either their Reshiram and Zekrom deck or Zacian ADP. Reshiram and Zekrom has come back a lot because of the sniping ability that it has with its GX attack. Coupled with Zigzagoon's Headbutt Tantrum, you've got the opportunity to take 4 prize cards at once because it will do 170 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. And if you can get your Headbutt Tantrums timed well, that is very scary for anybody that has Dedennes or Crobats. Alright, I see a Jirachi, so maybe ADP. Maybe the deck box is just a lie, and it's to trick us. Oh, Rowlet. Okay, Decidueye deck. So we still safe. As long as we can get like a Volcanion, some energy. That would be nice. Maybe a Welder. So right now, all 3 of the Pokemon on their board are weak to fire, which we have in our favor. Alright, pulling out the rare candy already. Let's see. What are they thinking about? Quick ball. Are they running Obstagoon in the deck too, or is it just the Rowlet? Okay, gotta get another Jirachi. Discarded a big Parasol? Strange. Okay, 2 Jirachis on the board. We will Pokemon Communication away the Centiskorch and grab ourselves a Dedenne. We're going to be discarding anyways, so we're just going to put that there. Grab my little Volcanion. Switch them out, and then we'll discard our hand and draw 6 cards. Alright. Get a Fire Energy in the discard. Thin the deck a little bit. Look through the deck, because I completely forgot to do so. Okay. So we have usually 3 Volcanions in the deck, so we've got 1 prized. We've got 1 Centiskorch prized. Looks like we've got a couple energies prized, and can't think of anything else. Or Zigzagoon? Yeah, Zigzagoon is also prized. Alright, not terrible. Not terrible at all. Little Flare Starter. We'll put 1 here, and then we'll put 2 on the Centiskorch, just to have it spread out, because High Heat Blast is more than enough to take out the Jirachi and the Rowlet. Since there's going to be at least the 4 energy on the board, the attack will do 60 more damage. 60 plus the 50 it already does is 110, and then multiply that by 2 for weakness. You're going to be dealing 220 damage, so that is a bonus there. Unfortunately, this is just a bad matchup for them because of the Volcanion, which is such a super strong card in standard format for any fire deck, really. Both of the attacks are super aggressive. One aggressive with energy acceleration, another aggressive with hitting for weakness, since a lot of decks are running grass or steel types now. Alright, feel free to Marnie us. We do not have a very good hand. I mean, we have what we need. We've got the Dedenne if we really want to use it, but it's more liabilities on the board. at this point. Alright, we got a Welder and a VMAX into Cramorant. Cramorant is good for spit shotting the Dedenne and or Crobat that they probably have. Oh, Whirlpool section. File. So I am assuming that they do have what they need to evolve. No? Just trying to stall? That's fine. So we're gonna get rid of one of those VMAXs. I do not think we're gonna need that many. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna retreat the Dedenne. Evolve the Centiskorch, and then I will Welder onto the Cramorant. Cool, cool, cool. High Heat Blast for 220. We got Marnied into a pretty superb hand there. If I'm not mistaken, Decidueye's attack will deal 90 damage to the active and then 20 to 2 benched. Okay. Well, that was a quick one. Alright, I feel kind of bad just stopping here at the 2, but we've been doing 2 games for each of the decks. And last night we did have our 12-hour stream, so I am still pretty beat from that. But this deck has a lot of potential, I think, and it matches up pretty well with almost everything except Blacephalon. I think it does really struggle against Blacephalon. Maybe during a live I can play against somebody that has a Blacephalon deck just to show you guys, because Blacephalon is still capable of dealing so much damage so quickly. I've played against it before, and I was kind of hoping we would get matched up against Blacephalon for the video today, but it didn't happen. So one day I want to show you guys just how much of a monster it can be even to other fire decks. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the deck. If you want to check out the deck list, it's in the description box below, along with the other YouTubers that I've seen use this deck as well. So I hope you guys have a wonderful time trying this deck out. I hope it works well for you. Let me know down in the comments below if you've tried it, if you tried any other iterations of the Centiskorch deck, or if there's a fire deck you prefer. And also leave me any recommendations for decks that you want me to try out for the Meta Monday series. But that's all I've got for you guys today. Hope you guys have a safe and wonderful week, and we'll see you next time.